Hey everybody, and welcome to another DataStatPro video. In the previous video, I was just giving a random overview of this site, DataStatPro, that I found just by doing a Google search, basically, on statistics, programs, suites, apps, etc., right? Here's what happened after that. The folks at DataStatPro saw that I released my video, an overview on it, and they provided me with a subscription for the year on the Pro account, the Educator Pro account. And so I'm going to use that lovely bit of generosity to go deeper and make a set of smaller videos on how to get started, different analyses videos, different output videos, all of that kind of stuff, and the AI annotation engine, all of that. I'm going to go ahead and jump through several of these things in different videos over the next several weeks/months because of their generosity. I do want to say that off the bat, this video is not sponsored, though they did provide me with a license. So it's only good for a year, so we're going to do our best to get what we can in for this DataStatPro. So this is the first page that you jump in. So in this video, we're going to talk about adding data to a particular file. I'm going to use some of my own personal data. Unfortunately, please don't ask for this data because it's my data and I'm not going to be sharing it with you. It's just to use an example of opening up your own data in the app rather than using data file data, right? And so in other videos, we'll go ahead and talk about how to use this in various other ways. Now you can use this, of course, on the desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile, right? And so you can install your apps if you want to, but let's go ahead and getting started, opening data files. So let's go to start analyzing now so we can get our dashboard. It looks like there is a new version of DataStatPro. We are installing it, and it looks like it's going to install it on the back end here. But again, it is all available here, right? The reliability. And so the other thing I want to point out here is they have their own video tutorials. So these videos aren't meant to compete. I'm also an instructor, so the idea here is a tutorial about how to use the website, but then also how to explore the outcomes and these things like that. So they have a video on how to do reliability analysis, and I'm not here to step on their toes. There'll be different videos, just like there are a bunch of different desk videos, Jamovi videos on the internet. People watch mine, people watch others. Yeah, so we'll do that. So as we look here at our dashboard, you can see there's a lot to work with here, right? So we've got all of the things. Again, I was given the license for the Pro, so I can access everything in the site. You can see that I've got a unlocked version here, right? So it's unlocked, so I can go ahead and use all of these tools, and we will be in different videos, right? So we've got quick action tools, right? We've got the dataset manager. We can do all of that. We can import and export and edit our data, transform, variable, edit, all of that stuff. So this video is going to be import, export, and manage your data sets. And then we can, in future videos, go through the rest of these boxes, right? Tip of the day, notification center, methods, which analysis, which is AI powered, etc., right? So that's DataStatPro. So let's go to the data thing, and we'll first do import data, right? Okay, so they have sample data sets right here. And in my previous video, we chose like the psychology data set or the health data set. I can't remember what we did. But what I'm going to do is now the import file, because couldn't do that before on the free tier. You can do import data file, and it can be a CSV, a text file, an old Excel file, a new Excel file, and then a JSON file, but maximum is 500 megabytes. Now that is typically huge. Let's be honest, right? Import options, first row is the headers or the variable names, skip empty lines, and auto detect data types, right? So, if you've got numbers, then it's going to be like, oh, that's a scale variable or whatever. Now there is a different SPSS import. So you have to use this one if you're going to use a .sav file. I will show that in this video as well. You can import from the clipboard. I'm not going to show that in this video because it is essentially copy and paste. And then you can import from Google Sheets by using the share URL. Okay, so very similar to the drag and drop upload for the text and Excel files is very similar to here. We'll do these three. I think paste from clipboard is pretty self-explanatory. Just if it's in a table form, you can use that. If you don't want to import from Excel or Google, you can just copy and paste. I honestly don't recommend this only as a last resort, honestly. So let's go ahead and pick a CSV file that I have used in the past, and we'll go ahead from there. Okay, so I found a old graduate school data file that I wanted to open and show you. It is from a belief bias and working memory study that I did about 15 years ago. And so I'm going to grab that from my Finder, and I'm going to drag and drop it here. So it's an Excel file, XLSX, okay? And it's going to grab the top, okay? And as you can see, I already have my local data set from the psychology data set here from the last video, okay? And you can put it in your cloud if you want to, and you have up to 100 megabytes or 50 data sets. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we've got our current data set. It's 245 rows by 65 columns. Let's go ahead and to edit to take a look at what this looks like, right? So this is the data set here, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3. These are my rows, but different people and different places, right? So there's the numbers for the subject. We've got the condition 1, 2, 3, or 4. CI1, CI2, CI3. These are the different questions for the types of problems. CV, right? And then LI, LV. And so these were all the different ones. And then I have my average, but you can calculate these if you want to, right? So this is the data editor, but we can go into transform and data convert as well. We can do computations in here, right? So we can do smart clean. So let's take a look at what smart clean will do. You can do light clean, bounce, aggressive, target all columns, detect and remove duplicates by matching columns, okay? Oops, all columns back there. We can do handle missing values, and we can put the mean in there by fill. Okay, so strategy, drop rows, interpolate, which should be a numeric process. We can do data outliers. We can use the IQR method. Instead of 1.5, we can do 2.5 if we wanted to, cap to bounds, all of that. And we can preview what this result might do, right? Duplicate IDs in TCV1, 2 duplicates. Interesting. Okay, you would review that. Duplicate IDs in TCV5, right? So T meant time. Duplicate IDs in TLI6. Duplicate IDs here, right? So what this would do is it would delete 14 columns because you've got 2, 3, 1, 1, and 2, okay? You can see that before it would be 245 rows, 65 columns, 245 rows, 51 columns. We would probably then go back and choose to maybe not get duplicates. I don't think there are supposed to be duplicates in this. So we go back to settings to change that. So let's go back to settings and get rid of the detecting duplicates. Let's preview then. So columns might change. I might have to, there's no revert. Interesting. Okay. You can't change what was already, so make sure you change that. Make sure you do that. Planned changes, 100. There are some fill missing values. We might want to exclude subject and condition from there. Found 632 outliers. Type conversions we're going to need to change, and then columns removed are all of these. But of course, we wouldn't want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it. I just wanted to show you that this is an old data set, so we don't need to do that, right? You can go into bulk edit, okay? Find and replace some values. So find, whatever, replace, just like Word, right? Change bulk values. This would have been nice 14 years ago. You can transform, make things uppercase, lowercase, trim white space, target columns. You can do mathematical operations. So there's add, subtract, multiply, and divide, okay? Target specific columns. And you can convert things from number, text, date to some sort of Boolean operator. We're going to cancel that. You can add rows, you can add columns, okay? You can paste, you can import more data into this data set, okay? It'll grab it from whatever file manager you have. Okay, paste from clipboard or import from a comma separated values or tab separated values. You can make groups, column group manager. So if I wanted to make a new group here and this be my CI, right? We can make that my CI, and we make a group, and then we just go through here and we're just going to choose all my CIs. Okay, CI all the way to CI5, and then we get done. And if I scroll all the way over, we can see what our groups. Did I not? Oh, create group. So there you go. Our CI is done 5 columns and everything is in blue. This is very useful, right? So if I put in another group, let's do CV, right? And I don't remember what CV stood for. Let's make it green, right? And so we'll do CV, 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 right? And you have and we can mark our averages here. I'm not going to do that, but then you hit create group and it highlights them all. No, CV1, missed you. But in any case, that is how you do it. That's how you make groups, okay? We can full screen this as well and get more information on your screen, depending on how big your screen is. Okay, this doesn't really matter, right? We can go into variable editor and we can change what these are, right? What these values are. So condition, we've got sample values here, but we don't have anything else. So let's go ahead and change condition. We click on edit, right? Condition. So this was the, or we can just say experimental condition between subjects, okay? We'll put that in there. It is not a numeric because it is actually a categorical variable. So you'd want to change that, right? And it'll change it from this little sigma symbol here, capital sigma, to this square, triangle, and circle, right? So variable role, it's an independent variable. We want to do that, okay? And then we want to add some category codes and labels. So code 1 we'll add is, I don't remember what they were. So this was group 1. I don't know where my code book is with this. So yeah. Group 2, group 3, and group 4. Oops. I don't think it was between subjects or at all, but we can also then, now that we've defined them and we can move them around with arrows right here, we can delete any of them. We can use the labels for analysis and display. It will still use the numbers to do the analysis under the hood, but it will allow us to read things a little bit more clearly, right? And then we can do missing codes and missing value codes here by defining them. But then we can hit save changes, right? And so now everything has been changed. Because I've already done some calculations, I tend to do this in my analysis already, I can change these now to dependent variables. And we can do that. And we can hit save change. We can go into here and hit dependent variable. So it makes these easier to find when you have a lot of variables in your big data set, right? So we can go on and we can say, okay, very cool. Now these were all time variables in milliseconds, and I did average them out as well, right? So you can make those, label those, and then we have age, gender, and formal logic training, I think it was what, and then post political ID and all of that stuff. This one is text. This must be one that I don't remember, but you can also reorder them if you want to with the drag and then the drop, which is so much easier to do than anything else ever, right? Is have that, right? But we can also label, let's say, we can label age as a covariate, right? And we can say, okay, I'm going to use that as a covariate in a later thing. We can filter data by adding filters here, by choosing a column and using and or, right? We can use filter presets. No presets are saved. You would have to make one and then save it. Okay, so we can do that. We can transform our data. This is where all the fancy transformations are. You can standardize using z-scores, which is, oh my gosh, so amazing, right? We can take square root, threshold, recode, compute. Recode would take an old numerical value on a Likert scale and recode it. I might do a special video on that. Log transformation, we can bin to make histograms. Okay, windsorize to cap outliers, dummy code things with 0-1 dummy coding, and we can create composite scores. So you can see this is a pro one. We can create a composite score by making a new variable. So let me go ahead and click on that. I'm combining multiple categorical order variables into a single numeric score. That would be not the kind of composite variable that I would want to do, actually. So I would want to take the average of something, to be honest with you. But you can numeric variables, categorical variables, you can recode, you can do advanced, right? Compute, there we go. That's the one I wanted, right? So then I would choose CI1, CI2, CI3, CI4, CI5, right? Those are my 5, okay? And then what we are going to do is we're going to create a new variable, and I'm just going to say, this is CI score new, okay? We're going to define our formula, and here's where you're going to put in your mathematical thing, right? We're going to sum, no, we're going to do average, and we're just going to compare that number to the CI average that we have, right? So we're going to create variable, and so now you can see that I can't do it again because that variable already exists. So it's done, success, created a new variable. Let's go back to data editor, and let's go to variable editor, because what I want to do is it probably added it to the end. What I want to do is I want to scroll this up and compare the values over here. So let's go to data editor and let's slide on over. So we've got our CI score new and our average CI that I computed, 15 years ago. 0.6, 0.6, 0.2, 0.2. Look at that. It did exactly what Excel did for me all those years ago. Wonderful. Excellent. So that's the transform menu. Then you can export this. We can export it as a CSV. We can export it as a JSON, which will give us this data in a JSON.json format that we can then upload to a website or something like that, or we can export it back as an XLSX file, right? Or we can convert it to something else. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this would look like, but target format, oh, now here we go. We can change it to an R script, stata, comma separator, TSV. So that's just a little bit more as a, oh, interesting. Okay. Read and review. I'm not entirely sure. Choose data file. Oh, you could just convert. Oh, okay. So this is something completely different. This is just a data converter that you can do with a different source file. Common research data files. Okay, that's cool. All right. Not something you would do if you've already had an imported data set like this. Okay, wonderful. Let's go ahead back to import data so I can show you SPSS import, right? Let's see, do I have an SAV file? I do. So I'm going to drag this here. Nope, that's not what you don't drag it here. You click on import file and you go to somewhere I have a lot of pretest believability. Yeah, let's go ahead and open that one. Let's open you, okay? I'm probably gonna get rid of this, but that's all you do. You choose it from your thing. And here we go. Here's that data set in all of its glory. There's a lot of missing information here. Why is this all missing? Oh, interesting. It needs to merge. Okay. Is there a merge function? That would be really cool. But yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. We need to merge. We need to match columns. Huh. Okay. Let's go ahead and preview. Let's see if this does this. I'm gonna go ahead and apply changes and see what happens. Okay. I think it got rid of what I didn't want it to do. I probably should have just done the duplicates and deleted everything else, but that's okay. We're all good. This was a funny one. I must not have had it done properly. Anyways, so let's go to import data one last time, and let's go ahead and get a Google Sheets. Let's go ahead and put it here. Import from Google Sheets. There we go. And we can rename this if we want to. Go to edit, right? We can rename this. Maybe, oh, you must rename datasets. You must rename it up here. Yeah, rename demo, because I can delete these if I want to. Okay. Go back into edit here, and there's it all, everybody. So very easy to do that. Make sure that you set your share link in Google Sheets to anyone with the link is an editor. Anyone on the internet with the link can edit. So you have that in there. But we can then, if we make any changes, you can see we can change, since we set as current and then edit, We made some changes previously. We'd have to change something else to save it as a new data set, but that's how you would manage that, right? So that is opening data in DataStatPro. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and look at maybe doing some descriptive statistics in a data set. If you have any comments, questions, or other feedback, please leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.